What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing an end of year review for 2022. So if you look back on our channel, you're probably wondering why it's been so long since we've posted our last video. We actually started the YouTube channel about 6 months ago and put up 2 videos but haven't put up anything since. And the reason why is because we've been doing a lot of behind the scenes work, meaning working a lot on set, so that's kind of kept us busy. But outside of that, we actually ended up shooting 3 YouTube videos outside of what's already posted, but didn't end up posting it because we felt like it just didn't fit our voice. And that's what we did. We took the time in those few months to figure out what it is that we wanted to put out on as content. But today we're doing an end of year review, so that means we're going to be talking about how many companies we've worked with, the types of projects we've gotten to work on, and what the busiest and slowest times of the year have been. So how do we keep track of this information? So there's actually this program called Airtable, which we've been using for the last few years. Myself as a freelancer before I started Tiny Machine, and then Tiny Machine as a company. And the nice thing about this is that it lets you keep track of your gear acquisition, how many jobs you worked on, the type of jobs you worked on, and you get to make your own custom layout for how you want to organize that stuff. So a good way to explain it would be if it was Excel on steroids. And it's a great program, and I highly recommend it to anyone who's freelancing or has a business. So to kick off this year in review, we are going to start with the amount of jobs we've worked on this year. So in 2022, we've been lucky enough to work on 113 jobs, and we're not talking about days in the year, we're talking about total jobs from the time we get called for prep to the time we wrap. Out of those 113 jobs, we've actually had the pleasure to work with 78 production companies in 2022. So next up, we want to talk about what type of jobs we worked on in 2022. This year, we ended up working on 1 feature film. Now we didn't do the whole project, it was actually just 2 pickup days on a green cyc with a car, with the 2 talents kind of just having a conversation. But because it was a feature film for a feature film, we do count it as a feature film for the year. This year, we ended up working on 2 events. One of the events was a birthday party for a celebrity where we actually got hired out to light a photo booth area, which is something we've never done before, and it was actually pretty fun. And then the second event we did was a red carpet event. What's cool about these events is that you get to dress up a little nicer, you get to still bring a few pieces of gear and walk around with them just to make people look pretty. And as a G&E company, I think it's fun to do these events every once in a while because it's just a different workflow and you get to be more lightweight with the kind of stuff you're carrying. This year, we also got called up to do 5 TV shows. Now, a lot of these shows were docu-style shows, so we were mainly called to do the interviews. Depending on what the subject matter is, there's so many different ways you can light an interview, and I think that's what keeps lighting interviews for us pretty fun. In 2022, we ended up working on 8 social videos. Now, what's cool about these videos is that they're mainly being produced for the distribution of Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, places like that. So they run pretty much like a commercial set would. The only difference is a lot of times you have less time to make it happen, which is kind of fun because you get to prep, get it all done in one day, and then you're done with the project and you see it up within a week, 2 weeks, or even a month sometimes. It's more of a faster turnaround for those kind of projects. Up next, one of our favorite types of projects that we got to work on this year were 11 documentaries. So this is one of our favorite genres to work on because just like a TV show, you get to spend a lot of time lighting the interview portion because it's such a big portion of the project. And it also brings you to places that you may have never found yourself in before, and spending intimate time with people that you may have not known otherwise if it wasn't for this project. So for that reason, documentary will always hold a special place in my heart. There's always something that feels good about working on them. Up next, this might be your favorite type of project. In 2022, we ended up working on 12 short films. Short films are great because you get to experiment a lot and lean on the darker side of things. There's a lot more motivational lighting that happens in short films, and a lot of times you get to light for the world and not just the corner. In 2022, we also got the chance to work on 15 corporate videos. A lot of people in the industry like to refer to these as bill payers because they're easy jobs. A lot of times it just requires 1 to 2 setups in a day, and you're usually done within 8 to 10 hours, which is makes for a really nice day. All right, we're down to the last 2 types of projects in 2022. The runner-up with 28 projects completed this year are commercials. We love working on commercials because a lot of times you get to hire multiple crew and you get to spend a few days on this project. It usually involves doing a big softbox overhead of talent or a product, and they treat you well. Commercials are really good to be able to get all the tools that you want and make something pretty. And last but not least, taking the #1 spot for most projects worked on in 2022, are music videos. Music videos are great because it usually just happens in one day. There's multiple setups, and you get to experiment with light a lot. The turnaround is so quick and it makes a visually stimulating project. So a lot of times you get to put that stuff on your portfolio right away. So now that we're done with the types of projects we worked on in 2022, we want to move on to what was the slowest and the busiest time of the year. So the busiest time of the year for us was Q1, quarter one. That's January, February, and March. And the busiest month of the year for us was actually March with a total of 14 jobs, quarter one with a total of 34 jobs. What's funny about this is a lot of times January, February, and March is when productions are actually planning their jobs. So the time's usually slower, but for us, it was a little bit faster this year. There was a little more work this year. Q2, we came in with 33 jobs. May was the busiest month in that quarter with a total of 12 jobs. Q3, we came in with 21 jobs. July and September tied for the busiest in that quarter with a total of 8 jobs. Which actually ended up making June the slowest month of the year. And then Q4, we did a total of 24 jobs, October being the busiest with 11 jobs total. So the reason why all of this information is important to a company like us is, so let's say June is the slowest time of the year, that's actually a perfect time for myself, the company, and anyone who I would usually hire on a typical basis to know, hey, like there's not much going on at this time of year, it might be a good time to take a vacation. The other cool thing about knowing this information is, based on the kind of projects we work on, we know what kind of gear we need for the following year. So this year we worked on a lot of music videos and commercials, so that tells us we need a lot of soft, big lights, and we need a lot of lights that can do color, because a lot of times commercials and music videos need both of those things. The other reason why this information is important is because it allows you to market for the following year. Let's say we want to work on more documentaries or more corporate videos next year. Let's say we want to work on more commercials next year. That tells us we want to put out only commercial looking projects up on our Instagram and our YouTube and our website. It just lets people know, hey, like this is what we're working towards. This is what we did last year. That means we have to make a change to be able to get the results that we want. To conclude this video, we want to talk about our plans and goals for 2023. Next year, we're still a G&E service and rental company. We're still going to be renting out lights, and we still want to work with the same DPs and new DPs. So if you're interested in working with us, please reach out through Instagram, email, whatever it is. We're happy to work with you. But also, we have a stacked content plan for YouTube that we will reveal next year, so stay tuned for that. All right, everybody, we hope this video will help you get a little more organized for next year. Don't forget to set some awesome goals for yourself as a freelancer or a business, and we wish you good luck in 2023.